Hi, I'm Steve from Adisa. I'm joined today with Paul Finnis, who's the strategy advisor at Unconnected. But I first met Paul about 4 or 5 years ago now when he was founder of the Digital Poverty Alliance. So, hi, Paul. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Thank you. Yeah, good to be talking to you again.
Now, for those of you who don't know, Paul's going to be speaking at our conference on one of the panels, which is talking about the social value that ITAD can offer. And that's where we first met when you were at the DPA. Give us a very quick synopsis for the work that you're doing in the digital divide and how we can all help to make a difference.
Thanks, Steve. That's a big topic. That's a big topic. And of course, one of the things worth saying is that you and I really came together at the beginning of that pandemic, didn't we? Where there was a real drive and an understanding about not just the numbers of people who were excluded, so not engaged with the digital world, but also looking much more at how secondhand devices at their end of corporate life and stuff could be repurposed, reused, and then back out into the community and stuff. And I still huge thanks to you and many of the ITADs I know that are in membership with Adisa, but also that will be there at the conference, I'm sure, who've played their part in that, either by doing what they can as organizations in their communities, but also by working with their clients to encourage them to give back, give into the community. And actually, that's I'm really looking forward to seeing Bev and Richard and others and participating in that. It's going to be a great conversation, and it is really important too. And the reason why it's really important still is that I think people responded pretty well during the COVID pandemic and things, particularly this image they must have had in their heads of mums and school children and things just completely cut off, just without any devices, without any connectivity and things, and how awful that must have been for many of them and things, because I think digital otherwise kept us all going, didn't it, during the pandemic, either watching Netflix or staying in touch with people and things. But the reality is that hasn't maintained, and there are still far too many. I mean, I don't know what the numbers are. Far too many devices still being trashed at the end of their corporate life, particularly. And I get the understanding about security and confidentiality and that kind of thing. But the other thing I know from having worked with you, Steve, and many of your members over the years now, is just how professional, just how brilliant that
Yeah.
sector is in terms of responding to all of those kind of things, in terms of reporting, in terms of auditing, in terms of the cleanliness and the security of the work and things. And I do think there's a bit of a job to be done, and it might be something that we could talk about at the conferences, about how we can get the community that you are such an important part of, but to promote itself, to talk much more loudly to businesses and
Yeah.
say it's not just about digital inclusion, it's not just about being nice, it's actually good for everybody, and particularly government, I have to say. And today's a big day, right? July the 4th, so who knows what we might be talking about on July the 5th. But it also, of course, it's fantastic for the environment and things as well. People know those arguments way better than I do and things. So it is, one of those classic win-wins. Everybody benefits and stuff. And I can't wait to be there, able to discuss it face to face with the panel and others.
This is a real world problem. We took some of the calls during COVID from people who were needing equipment, and it was quite harrowing. I'll be honest that this isn't a small minority. There's a significant number of people who are off the radar as far as general population is concerned, and we have an obligation, I think, as a community and as an industry to do what we can. And customers of our ITAD or certified ITADs have a role to play in this as well, because things don't happen for free. There is
No,
always a cost which has to be recovered from resale. If we can
yes, of course.
start considering the ITAD supply chain in the right
Yes,
way, we can see the social impact that it can have. And I know that's what we're going to cover
no.
in the panel in October.
Not least because the conference is going on to help support one of the charities that I work with, Unconnected. You're absolutely right. This is a global issue. And I know that one or two of the ITAs that we've worked with in the past are now working with the clients in other countries to help to do the same thing. So that's really important too. And that's Unconnected. But the other organization I'm working with at the moment, Wavelength, are using devices to enable people who are disconnected, who are feeling lonely, who are lonely, which can be a chronic, problem, mental health and physical health issue and stuff, and enabling them by giving them devices to connect with the world and things. And so there's some really wonderful kind of, as you say, social benefits and things to be had out there. So yeah, thanks, Steve. I look forward to seeing you in October. I can't wait.
Brilliant. October the 17th,
I'll be
ADISA
there.
conference at the QE2 in Westminster.
Yeah.
Go to our website, adisa.global, to get your tickets. Come and listen to Paul and the others on the panel talk about how we can help society with our IT. Thanks, Paul. Great to speak to you again.
Thanks. Nice to see you again, Steve. Cheers. Good luck.